pre-trip video, vehicle 858. We're going to be showing you some maintenance on the Isuzu cab over spray truck. Going over some basic components as well as how to fill out your driver's log. First thing you want to do is fill out the date, your name, vehicle number, start odometer, payroll start, leave yard time, and your start location. So we're going to start with the basics on this one by just opening and closing the door. Very good. Again, with these Isuzu cab overs, you want to make sure that there is nothing inside the cab that's going to roll up inside and break this window. This cab will be tipping up at 45 degrees. You want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to roll up, break, or shatter that front windshield glass. So we're all clear on the inside here. Next, very important step on this vehicle is to move out the front booms. So the first step you're going to do is take out this pin at the bottom. It's got a home over here. You're going to pull this boom out. One more time, show me pulling it out. Close. You'll pull the pin and it'll come all the way out here. Once you're all the way out, you're going to loosen these two T-bolts. Pull out this top boom all the way. This is important because this area right here is going to be flipped up on the cab at 45 degrees. If you pull this cab up without moving these two booms out, you're going to break the front windshield. You must pull the pin, pull the boom out, then pull the top boom out. Okay, let's take a walk over back to the cab now that we're ready to open this thing up with the Isuzu. Again, we're going to open the door. We're going to pull the safety latch as well as the large lever. Pull up. Again, closing the door once you have it off. The door's heavy, it's awkward. It makes it much easier whenever you have it up. So let's start off by looking at some basic components on this guy. We're always looking at the engine, making sure there's no oil sitting on top, pooling or puddling. We're all clean here. You can check out our belts on this side. This truck, we've got the one belt on top here that we can see. Very good. We've got power steering fluid on this side. You're going to remove the cap. Pull it out. It's got a dipstick attached to the cap, and you'll check and see if you need power steering fluid. Go ahead and replace the cap. Very good. So that's about all we can check on this side. Let's take a walk over to the other side. Now we're going to start on the top here a little unusually with the washer fluid here. This guy's on top in this position. It's actually behind the cab when it's resting down, but it's one of the ones you'll see first as you come over. Next one you'll see is going to be the coolant. It's got a cap on top, and then again, like most, a max and a minimum fill line. Most important thing you'll check today is going to be your engine oil. You're going to pull it out. It's going to be the yellow circle. Pull out the dipstick all the way, wipe off the oil. Sticker all the way back inside until it locks. And you pull it out, and you ideally want to be between the two dots. In this guy, we can see the middle dot is covered, so we appear to be in good shape with oil. If you did need to add engine oil to it, right next to the dipstick you'll see the oil cap. You can remove him, add the oil, then you want to make sure you're checking your dipstick again to make sure. The type of oil that you need is listed on top of the engine cap. SAE 5W30. Again, we're looking for any pooling or puddling on top. We don't see any here. We're good. The oil, as well as the rest of these fluids, have been checked while the engine is cold and off. The next one we're checking here is the transmission. Only for display purposes only. The engine would have to be warm and hot for you to check your transmission fluid. Inside the cab you're going to find nothing. We've already checked our washer fluid. It's on the inside here. Let's take a walk back over to the front side. We need to check our battery first before we go too far. And particularly on this model, you'll find the 2 batteries underneath. You're checking again all your connections to make sure nothing's loose. But on this guy, you actually have a main shutoff to your battery. So to the right, as it's turned right now, is on. As you turn it over to the left, that would be off. So to the right is power, to the left is no power. You can also get no power by pulling this guy off. That is no power. No power, on, that is power. One little caveat we have on this truck that not many have. Okay, so we've checked pretty much everything underneath the hood. We're now safe to pull this guy down. It's going to be the same thing. You've got the release here, which is going to start to release the weight coming down. Carefully release, pushing down on your handle, and hearing the lock. Pull up on the handle and on the cab to make sure that nothing is loose. Very good. Let's jump inside the truck. We're going to continue with our fluid check by checking the brake fluid on this guy. There's a cover and a reservoir on top with the cap. You've also got an add line or a mix or a maximum or minimum line on the side here, checking to make sure your brake fluid is intact. If you're adding brake fluid daily or weekly, you need to alert someone that you're doing that. That is a sure sign that there is more troubles in your brakes than just adding the fluid. So inside the cab, we're going to take a look at our lights. We check our seatbelt, make sure our seatbelt works. Pull it across, make sure we hear it click in. Got a good click, so we're good there. We've got side mirrors, no cracks, no damage to our side mirrors. We're in good shape there. Kind of looking at our windshield from the inside. Let's look at it from the outside. Okay, again, we can see no cracks, no chips. We have windshield wipers. Do we have fluid? Yes, we have fluid. So we're all clear and check there. Let's go ahead with the headlights. Headlights we can see are on. The high beams, good. 4-ways, good. Driver marker, passenger marker, all good there. Let's go ahead and turn our beacons on. Check out our beacons on the top of our truck. This truck, they're located only in the back. We can see that they are on. And check our brake lights. Brake lights are working. Give me the 4-ways. Good. Driver signal, passenger signal, good. Backup lights. This one we have backup lights, so we have no alarm. Maybe something you want to note on your driver deficiencies. Very good there. Notice as we walk around the truck, we also have our fire extinguisher. Let's check the horn, make sure the horn works. Horn is good. Steering column, you want to make sure you check your steering, make sure it's not too loose, not too tight, make sure the wheels are turning when you turn the wheel. All good there. Let's check our defrosters and our vents. Simply by turning on your defrosters, as you can see the vapor rise up, and by turning on your front vents, the fuel comes out. Very good. Check our CB radio. Do we have a CB radio in this truck? We do not. That means we'll be equipped with a hand-held radio. Fire extinguisher we saw. We need to check out for our triangles and our PPE. Inside our truck, to turn our beacons on, is the top switch on the master board labeled as beacons. Up is on, down is off for the beacons. Inside our truck we can see our PPE. We've got our gloves, we've got our glasses, we've got our vest, and we've got our hard hat. Continuing with our outside visual inspection of the truck, we're just making sure there's no damage, nothing's been wrecked, out of place, loose or hanging. There's no oil underneath the truck, no puddling or pooling. We can look at our leaf springs while we're underneath and make sure there's nothing damaged with our leaf springs. We've got mud flaps. Let's check out the tires, give it a little pressure test. It is holding air. Our lug nuts, they're not loose. We check them by hand. Can check out our tread depth with a penny. Oh, this guy looks like he might need tires. can see old Abe's head in this one here. The back one looks like it's in a little better shape, but our front one looks like it might need tires. Definitely something you want to note on your vehicle deficiencies. Our gas cap we have right here. Just make sure it locks, is in good working order. You'll see as we walk around the truck too, we also have these side marker lights. Any marker light that is installed on your truck must be working, or that is a DOT violation. But again, just walking around our truck, make sure nothing's loose, nothing's hanging, making sure everything's in good working order. Let's take a look at the inside of these tires. Inside we can see the rotors. Make sure there's no excessive wear or gouging on the rotors. You can kind of take a peek inside and try to look at our brakes. As far as the pads go, it's a little tricky on the video, but not really a lot you can see there. But just kind of checking all the general components of your tires, making sure everything is in good shape and in good working order. Let's go ahead and close this front so we can show you how to do that, since we didn't. Again, we're just going to loosen up the T-bolts, push them in, tighten up the bolts, push it in. Grab our pin, insert them back inside here, all the way through, and we're back in good shape. Very good. So as we check out our list, we've gone under the hood, we've gone in cab, we've gone around the vehicle. Driver's items, we need our driver's license on us at all times, proper license for the vehicle, medical card for any vehicles over 10,001 pounds gross vehicle weight, proper PPE we saw inside. Toolbox is going to be required for the spray trucks, and that will be located inside your job box in the back. 10 hours off duty applies to all drivers. Brakes adjusted or self-adjusting. Cell phone use is prohibited. Seat belts use is required. We must stop at all DOT checkpoints. Gross vehicle weight as well as the vehicle height. We can find the gross vehicle weight here, listed at 14,500 pounds. Vehicle height, we can see is listed on the top at 9 feet. Other things we see inside here is we're listed for gas only. One thing we didn't check is our gauges while we're in here. Fuel gauge is always on the left. You want to make sure your truck is full with gas when you start the day every morning. Tachometer, your speedometer. You've also got your temperature gauge here. When the temperature gauge is reached about the middle is when you want to check your transmission temperature. But no other lights listed on inside. Pretty clean truck. So once we filled out all the appropriate information, we're going to note any deficiencies that we found on the truck, whether or not our vehicle was satisfactory. We're going to put our signature in blue or black ink. At the end of the day, we'll come down here to end time, put our total time, as well as our end odometer. We'll note any deficiencies that we had on the truck that we found throughout the day, and whether our vehicle was satisfactory or not. We'll print our name in blue or black ink, and then sign it to make it official.